Hi.
Hi.
Hi. Hi.
This week's a little different.
Just a little.
Diamond messed up.
Well, it seems like our delivery of everything but DC has not shown up. Therefore, you're getting DC. You're getting a bunch of DC this week.
Yes, I mean, and it's not, and it sucks because there's actually some comics that I really, really wanted to see. Like if we had our regular stuff, Shadecraft issue number 5 would definitely been reviewed. Siphon issue number 1 looks really amazing. So like, don't let this sway you from that. Shadecraft has been solid this entire time. Siphon looks really, really, really good.
Whoa, 3 reallys.
Yeah, the art looks fantastic in it. I really want to see how it goes. Probably going to read it tomorrow if it gets here on time. And of course, Tim.
Moon Knight number 1 would have been my pick. It just seems very unlikely to be anything else. I love Moon Knight.
Let's be honest, it would have been number 1. It would have been his pick. It could have been terrible.
I still would have loved it.
He would have loved every minute of it.
You can't go wrong with Moon Knight. Is the moral of the story? So pick that up.
Yeah, and I think that's it as far as like what we probably would have reviewed.
It's the only guarantee.
It's the only guarantee. Siphon looks good. Shadecraft looks good. I might have picked up one of the DC books that we do happen to review, but
Yeah, me as well.
But yeah.
So yeah, let's do it like we normally do it, but DC. All DC.
Just very DC-ish.
So DC Direct.
Yeah.
Drawing the line at $2.99. Oh wait, that's not it.
Yeah, that's not it anymore either.
Okay.
Hey guys, Paul from Ashen. It is new comic book day for the week of July 21st, kind of. And we're going to start right now. This episode brought to you by the Comic Book Store, 30 North Main Street, Glassboro, New Jersey, 08028. Come buy some comics or a lot of D&D. They have a lot of D&D right now. I mean, not nearly as much as their comics, but they have a lot of D&D. Come buy some D&D stuff. And then buy some comics. Because, like, that's what you do.
All right, guys, time to talk about trades. And DC trades is what I got. Boy, I really feel bad for people who aren't, like, big DC fans this week. Sorry. These things happen. It rarely happens. It's all cool. I'm happy about it. I read a couple extra books I might not have read, so it's cool.
It really doesn't happen. Like, it's happened.
It doesn't happen often.
5 times since we've been doing this.
And a lot of times it's because shipping is off because of a holiday. Because there's a lot of Monday holidays.
Or crazy snowstorms.
Crazy snowstorms. That's about it. And maybe once or twice you or I have been sick and we just didn't do a video.
Yeah.
That rarely happens too. So
like maybe 10 times max in the last 5 years.
It's not bad. I gotta admit, that's not terrible.
That's not bad. I mean,
it's not terrible. But hey, we're lucky that Lunar exists and there's another distributor because there's still a video for you this week. Your first trade, Wonder Woman, Lords and Liars. This is volume 5 of the current run. And it's been pretty solid. Pretty good. Pretty good stuff. I enjoy my Wonder Woman. There's a Nubia series coming out soon. That'll be cool. I think it'll be cool. I'm going to check it out. So get ready for that on here. Batman, the Dark Prince Charming. Did we read this one? You read this. I think every week I got to assume you've read something.
No.
This looked awesome. Yeah, I didn't read this.
I know I didn't.
All right. Well, it looks cool and you should read it, I guess. It's so hard to do trade reviews when there's 2 left. We're halfway through, people. Red Hood and the Outlaws. This is volume 3 of the new run. Yep, and Superman. Man of Tomorrow, volume 1. This is 1 through 6 and 11 through 15 of Superman, Man of Tomorrow. I wonder why that is. Why did they skip? Let me know in the comments section, because I don't know the answer, but it looks cool. It's Robert Venditti, however you say that. Always solid, so yeah, volume 1 of this. Maybe they alternated storylines like they did originally when they did the Rebirth stuff. Maybe. I don't know. It's volume 1, so maybe in volume 2 I'll get an answer. Or you could just tell me in the comments, because I don't know.
All right, guys, first up we have Shazam, issue number 1. It's an interesting book. The art is really, really good. The writing is pretty good on this. Basically, what is happening is Shazam is losing his powers. You come to find out that there's something wrong with his source of power. It is not where it should be, and as a result, he doesn't have any reliability to his powers, and unfortunately that's causing a lot of problems between his family and everything else, because since he doesn't have his powers, neither do any of his friends, neither do the other Shazam family, and as a result, like, one of his best friends, of course, is dying because the power is not keeping him alive. And that causes a lot of problems. They have to go try to find and solidify the power again. It's really interesting writing. I liked it. It was a lot of fun. With something that's kind of centralized point to the entire Infinite Frontiers thing. Yeah, it's worth the pickup if you like it. It's a 4-issue mini, so grab it if you want.
All right, guys, my first book, and we each did 2 books. This book, almost my pick. Both books were pretty sweet. I did Legends of the Dark Knight issue 3. It's got pencils and writings and some inks by Derek Robertson, who I love. Of course, he's the artist on The Boys. So it's always fun to see Batman in a gritty Boys-style artwork. This features a villain I'm not as familiar with named Quiz, who is the girlfriend of the Riddler. And so basically, the Riddler has found this woman and has a relationship with her. And it seems like they have a very Joker-Harley kind of dynamic, except they respect each other. And it's not as crazy. She seems pretty capable of her faculties, I guess. Her mental health seems on the up and up. So, essentially, there is an issue with Scarecrow and some Russians and buying nerve toxin down by the docks. And Quiz has tricked Batman into a trap that the Riddler didn't think would ever work. And she completely caught him. And she's like, help us. We're in over our heads. Everything's terrible. Go stop the Scarecrow, because they're involved in that plot as well. And that's where it goes. And it is pretty good. I was pretty surprised by this. So definitely head out. Check it out. Quiz is pretty cool. I love the Riddler. They drew him like Frank Gorshin, which I love. So check it out.
Before I get to my pick of the week, yeah, you saw the beginning. So we have to fill up a little bit of room. So what I'm doing is I'm actually going to be doing a Here We Are Again, or Here We Go Again, with a book that we originally reviewed when it very first came out. This Homesick Pilots. Homesick Pilots is basically about the 90s and the punk scene, and this group that wants to kind of make it big, and their big thing is going to be like they're gonna play in this old haunted house. And then there's another group that has the same idea. And when they get to the haunted house, it actually is haunted and kills half the people and takes Amy, the main character of this book, prisoner, and basically makes it do its bidding, trying to get back some of the old artifacts that were taken from the house and get put back in. Meanwhile, her friends have to kind of pick up the pieces of what happened, while some are searching for her, some are searching for kind of like their place in this world now that some of their friends and some of their rivals are now dead. The police are looking for them. It becomes a very convoluted story, but it's a lot of fun. It's very interesting. It has a similar vein to like Shadecraft, where there is suddenly a government organization that is kind of taking place of the or taking stock of the ghosts. And of course, that's what the government does. The government, in any of these stories, the government is like, hey, we now know that this stuff exists. Let's weaponize it. It's kind of like how they do it in Shadecraft, where it's just like, oh, people can work with shadows. How can we make this deadlier? And that's what this is. It kind of it sets up the central conflict between Amy and her friends and this government entity and some of their rivals. So I'm giving you about as much as I can without really spoiling a lot of the book. It's a really lot of fun. It's very, very interesting. I've been looking for this for a while. Unfortunately, they sold out of issue number 2, so I couldn't really do any more reviews of it. But I was able to pick up the trade, which came out like a couple weeks ago, not too long ago. I think this is only about a month old. And it's a lot of fun. The art is spectacular. I love the shading that they use in this book. It's definitely one to pick up. So if you like it, if you like the muted colors, the use of the purples and the reds and the pinks and everything. It has a really kind of a punk feel to it, and it's definitely worthwhile. Grab it.
All right, guys. So what is my pick of the week? Well, of course, it's a DC book.
I mean, it could have been.
It would have been. Yeah. No, it's Moon Knight week. It's not possible. I'm in Moon Knight's pocket as well. It's Blue and Gold, #1. And this is all Booster Gold and Blue Beetle and that classic comedy kind of shtick that they do. You know, the straight man and the moron, essentially. And it's a pretty cool story. I don't know the lead into it per se, but they give me enough to figure it out. Essentially, the Justice League is trapped on an alien ship. Booster Gold is live streaming him trying to save it. And everybody, the comments from the people, the viewers, just like, he's gonna die, it's all fake, it's all staged, it's like the moon landing, stuff like that. It's pretty good. And Skeets, his robot, ends up going and getting Blue Beetle because he needs help, and he does. So it is all these lovable losers trying to save the Justice League from a trap that the Justice League couldn't get out of. It's a pretty cool story. I love the dynamic. They've always had a good dynamic, whichever versions of them you get. You know, you always got a good... Blue and Gold is just fun. And I enjoyed the book a lot. I'm curious to see where it goes. But it just seems like a more fun... serious situations, but not so... It's more lighthearted, I guess. If you want something a little more lighthearted, a little more fun, just pick this up. I think you'll enjoy it. I enjoyed it a bunch. It's just good. And there's some great lines towards the end of the book. I don't want to spoil how they come about because it might give away some plot points for you. But I enjoyed this. It's fun. I would probably check out issue 2. So if you like this kind of stuff, by all means, go get it.
What is my pick of the week? It is Superman the Authority, issue #1. Now, I have to preface this with my assumption is this is not an in-continuity story. I haven't really paid too terribly much of attention to the Infinite Frontiers, but I'm assuming we are getting melding of other DC universes kind of bleeding back into our reality. And as a result, we have Kingdom Come Superman, or at least, like I said, it's my assumption based on the S on him. His powers are failing, and he starts reflecting and looking back on his life and figuring all the times where he kind of held back. And if he had not held back, what the world would look like now compared to what it is. And he just decides, you know what, I'm done holding back. So he's going to create a new supergroup that is less reputable, but would not be questioned when their methods come to bear, basically. And the first person he picks is Manchester Black, and it's basically him trying to bring Manchester Black, who, of course, we all know hates Superman, to his side as they try to take on one of the first threats to the New Authority. It's an interesting series. It's a 4-issue mini. I don't know where it's going, and again, my assumption is it's Elseworld unless it's bleeding into this. So I don't know. Like I said, I didn't read Infinite Frontiers, so I don't know how this plays in the overall DC universe. I'm assuming it's an Elseworld tale, but it might not be. But if you know more, let me know in the comments if you know that this is actually taking place in our Earth Prime, or this is just something off in the fringes in a multiverse. Let me know what's going on. Otherwise, it's a really good, it's a great story. The art is fantastic. I am always a huge sucker for Jen and Art. He does a lot of Tom King books, and yeah, it's definitely one to grab up.
All right, that's it. Thank you, everybody, for checking out the videos. Paul also thanks you in his own unique ways. And you can check Paul out on Twitch, Team Ashen, on there. Team Ashen on everything, right? If there's a social medias, it's probably you and Team Ashen, right? And I'm Capes and Scowls. You can check us out as well. We talk about stuff, mostly movie reviews. I don't got time for nothing else. That's unfortunate. But hey, movies, right? Who doesn't like a movie? Paul, what's your favorite movie of all time? Go.
Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Interesting. If you would like to guess my favorite movie, put it in the comments down below, and I will reply to absolutely no one until a lot of people have guessed. No one's going to guess my favorite movie unless they listen to the podcast. Hey,
There you
I did review it.
Look for hints.
Yeah. But that's it, everybody. Have a good week. Enjoy your comics that you pick up. Let us know how good everything that wasn't DC was. We'll get to them eventually. Everybody tell me how good Moon Knight is. Don't spoil. And hey, just have a good day, evening, week, month. Have a good month. Whoever says that. I hope your month is splendid. That's it.